third week of every month, and a lot of people were waiting for it. So as always, so let's get started. And as you know, I will teach everything in React. Many of you have attended earlier also, so we are going to learn everything about this great framework, which just if you have that in your resume, you'll get a job. Just having a 4-5 pages of React in your resume will get your job. But the problem is that it's not that much easy. Before React.js, you need to know CSS. Before React.js, you need to know JavaScript. Then only you need to know React. Because if you go somewhere, React.js at the end of the day is a JavaScript library. So you need to know a bit of JavaScript, not that much deep JavaScript. You need to know that much JavaScript which we teach in our JavaScript beginners to advanced class. So go through the JavaScript beginners to advanced class if you have not done it yet, and we do it every month, second week of every month. Go through it. And the way to get a job today is now 5 CSS projects, 5 CSS front-end projects, 5 JavaScript projects, and 10 React.js projects, which will include 2 major projects. So like this 20 projects will give you a job. 2 major projects will be there, and this 20, and everything is there on our channel, and we're going to have more projects also in the future. Okay, so now we're going to now we're having a lot of CSS projects, but in the future we're going to have some more projects. And we have started one more thing on our channel, which is your brushing up your English skills. English skills is very much important to get a job, or how else you give an interview. So if you say, okay, I don't know to get a job, I will do a freelancing job. Okay, do a freelancing work, but who will be your client? Okay, who will be your client? You go to Fiverr.com, or Americans will be your client. And in what language they talk in English. So English is required whether you want to be a freelancer, whether you want to work in a startup, or anyways. And we help you to become a web app developer. So a lot of people were facing problem in English. So we have brought one of the top English trainer, and she is going to teach you English. And we are after her that she will teach more English, and we are persuading her to teach more English on the channel. So that's why you can become a you can get everything from this channel. You don't have to go outside. You get English, you get everything. You get everything means we are already teaching everything: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. Those are the main things which we are teaching you. All those things you pick up and you get a job. So I want to see more people getting a job from this channel, from this YouTube channel. Already 3 people have got job from this YouTube channel, and I'm a small channel. I don't have a like lakhs of subscriber, but I want to have, because I want it to reach more people, so that can become a web app developer. And we are doing everything in everything which everyone is demanding, which we are seeing that the people are lacking. That's why I started doing this English thing also. I am bringing this trainer, and we're doing English thing, because I found out a lot of people are telling, okay, take this in Hindi and all. I can take this in Hindi, not an issue. I can take this in Hindi, but then it will like some other Hindi channel. Okay, you learn it, come it, have a good time, go away home, and don't get a job. But that is not the thing. You go to our channel logo, channel main thing. It is that helping you to get a high helping you to become a highly paid web app developer. Highly paid web app developer need to work in some good companies, or need to very good in freelancing, way too awesome in freelancing. Okay, that is the only way. So technical skills are not enough. I talked to many founders in Indore, which is the center of MP, which is like the you also. So like Hindi works there, only Hindi works there. And the CEOs, I've been contacting many people. They tell me that we need React.js. I need, what are your requirements? So they tell me, okay, technical is there, but we need them to have good communication skills also. So then I understood, okay, communication skills is very much required. Okay, so thank you all, and we are going to start with React.js now. And please check out the channel. Today we have at our first English class also. Thank you all. Okay, so now let's get started. And so this is it. And React.js, from now, from React.js, you need to be at least a bit good, means at least a beginner in command line. So don't say that I don't know command line and all those things. Okay, that thing you have to know. You have to know a bit of command line. How you know? I don't know. See, because it is not that much difficult to know a CD command, to know a mkdir command, to do a npm command. So I'm not asking you to be a command line ninja. No, but you have to know command line. And from now onwards, we are going to do in command line only, because we don't have any other choice, because we have in React you have to run everything from command line. Okay, so this, although I'm using a Mac, in Windows I will ask you to install git bash. Install the git bash. And let me also show what is this git bash. Install the git bash, and don't use the built-in terminal. Okay, built-in command line, although you can use it, but it will cause a lot of issue. Install something known as git bash. Anyways, you have to install this thing. Okay, so this thing, install this thing, git bash. Install this thing git bash, and you'll get a Windows download thing. Okay, let me first tell what you need for React.js, then we start it. So git bash you need, because you need to work on command line, and this Windows command line is not good. Okay, so for that reason you need this. The next thing which we need is the Node.js. Okay, Node.js is required because React.js we are going to install React.js, so you need Node.js. So Node.js, it's a package. Again, I'm getting everything from Mac. You'll get everything from Windows. Again, you need to download some exe. This is also exe. You need to download that exe and you need to install it. So these two things are required to start with React.js. And after that, the next thing is required React.js. I'm not going to tell much of a theory why React.js is the greatest and all. So you know why React.js is the greatest. I don't want to waste time in this. Why React.js is the greatest and all. Everywhere you go, that jobs are in React.js, from startup to enterprise, everywhere. Everybody love React.js because it is not that tough as Angular. I teach Angular also, but in the enterprise level. Mostly I now don't teach that much Angular on my YouTube channel, although I am planning to have one Angular also, because a lot of people are asking for Angular because they work in Angular in those companies. So next month maybe Angular I am taking. Yeah, okay, so next month, from next month on, I think I will give the schedule ahead only, because we will teach everything. Means everybody should know what we are doing in the month. Okay, so we'll send a schedule ahead only from next month. Okay, so that is there, and this you have to download the Node.js. After that, there is something else known as a Create React app. You search it, Create React app, and don't open this one. And React, those who don't know, is created and maintained by one of the top company in the world, which is known as Facebook. Okay, so Facebook do that. So that's why the GitHub.com Facebook is there, and then we have the Create React app. We have this Create React app. Okay, so we have to do this Create React app, and in this Create React app, what we have to do first thing, npm dash, even before this we need to run this thing npm dash v, because some npm version should be there, npm dash v, and node. Okay, node is also required, so not mode, node is required, so node dash v. So it should be, see it, they're also telling that the npm version should be more than 5.2. It is 5.2, and at 16 is okay, more than okay. Okay, so that is there, and these two things are there. After that, you can create a React app with this command npx create React app my app. I'll do this command, and I'll do this. Okay, my app, the name can be different. Npx is the advanced form of npm actually. Okay, let me run this, then I'll talk, because it takes 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes it will take. Nowadays it's a bit faster. So npx create React app will give you all the boilerplate code of React. React is require us a bit of boilerplate code. Okay, so those things are, you can not bootstrap a React.js app like that. Although there are some ways are there, but it's a bit complicated way. See what happens, why you need all these things, because at the end of the day, what happens, your browser understand only three languages, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. React.js is not one of them. So React.js code needed to be converted back to JavaScript code. Okay, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. So that's why we use this Create React app, and it has got something like Babel and all those things. I don't want to go into the theory. You can learn about the Babel and all those things are there. It's converted. Okay, this has become very fast. It used to take 5 minutes. So if you see this thing, which suggests you begin typing cd my app npm start and my happy hacking, means everything is okay. So I'll do this cd my app, and I will also open it with VS Code. Okay, I will open it with VS Code. So to open it with VS Code, I will have to do this code dot. This is again a command line thing. How this code dot work, and it is like it will work everywhere. So if you do Command Shift P, you'll see this thing, Control Shift P, not Command Shift. It's not a Mac. Everyone doesn't have a Mac, and I'm also going to get rid of this Mac soon. So okay, this Control Shift P I'm going to do, and you see this install command in path, which I have already done. So Control Shift P you do, and you'll get this thing, and you can then work on it. Okay, so that is there, and now what we need to do here, we need to okay, so we have run, come here, and then we are going to do a, as they're telling, we are doing a npm start. So npm start I'm going to do npm start. I have done. It will open here, and you see the famous React logo. And once you see the famous React logo, means it is working fine. Let me make it a bit bigger, so we don't want this. And I will close all these things. So this React logo is coming and it is evolving, and this is means it is done. So even before moving to everything like coding, I want to explain why this is happening. Thank you, Ashish. Okay, so why this is happening, from where this is coming, and all these things. Okay, so we are going to do that. So let us go through all the files and how why this revolving atom sign is showing. Actually, this is a revolve. This is React sign, and this is something like a, I don't know, maybe a atom or something is like that. It is the atom or nucleus. Okay, so this package.json file is there first. Okay, package.json file is there first. What happens in this package.json file, React is mainly a node.js kind of a project. So this package.json file, in this all the dependencies are there, and React is a very small library. Okay, it is not like Angular, and we need to add a lot of things in React, with those npm packages which those open source developers create. So this here right now only two things are added, and if you install something, you'll see this thing. Okay, React and okay, React will, something will come, like if you install anything, a lot of things you are going to install. So now the main thing is that it is showing the React and React DOM version, both of them are same thing, it will be same. So it is showing as 18. Actually 18 version came sometime back only, means I think 1 month back only it came. Before that 17 for some point something was running. It is not that much important. Those who are coming from the Angular background, they might know one thing, that Angular every version they adds a lot of it. In this version there was not much added, although some of those things were added. uh, Performance oriented things were added, no, nothing much was added. And the thing is that this version is very important, because there is one version, one not breaking version, one version in which the major change was done. That version number is version 16.8. That is a major time. Means, see, React was released in around 2013, but it picked up around 2015, and I was privileged enough to start from the start. Means I've worked in React from 2015 onwards in various corporate, and actually that has taken my career like in a rocket ship. So that is like that. And so I have worked in React for a long time. It's like you will get many, not many people who have like got 7 years of experience in React. So because React, it's actually picked up from 2015. So that was there. And what happened in the React when it started, everything was like a React have got two type of components, which you're going to see: class-based component and functional component. So class-based components were earlier told as the main type of component, and functional component were known as dumb component. So dumb component. I'm not going to bore much with theory, because I can show the slides also for this thing. I don't want to show the slides and all this thing. So they were known as the dumb component. Okay, the functional component, because they were not having two of the main features of React. One is the state, one is the your life cycle methods. But what happened by the time is class-based component are a bit tough, not bit, only a bit tough. I'm telling, because if you go to Angular, you see how tough Angular is in comparison with React. This that Angular is like crazy tough. So even the class-based component were tough, but React is always like that. Facebook wanted to make React very simple. So class-based, they what class-based have some one very complicated concept known as this keyword, which is not a React fault, but it is coming because of the JavaScript. This keyword and some other things are there. So for that, React thought, and there was some issues with class also. Class doesn't come natural to JavaScript. Class was introduced in JavaScript in 2015 in ES6. JavaScript is mainly a functional oriented language. Class is, it is not like Java and all, but they forcefully introduced this class, and then React and Angular took these classes and all those things. They thought that it will be okay, it will be like a big thing and all. So now that what happens, the classes were minifying not properly. There was some internal issue, some performance issue where they're also in classes. It was not minifying properly. The classes were not minifying properly. So those issue came, and now the React team thought that okay, we will move to a functional component, and they introduced two major topic in functional component, and those things are like the state and the life cycle method. They introduced both of those things, state and the life cycle method. So by that, the functional component got the superpower. And now what happened in 2022, if you are going to create a new project, you are going to create with the functional component, and they are known as hooks. You might have heard that word if you're coming from somewhere. Hooks. So, but the thing is, I never teach directly hooks, because still what happens, a lot of the projects are in class-based component. If it is even a 2-year-old project, it will be in class-based component, and you should know class-based, because there is some concept in hooks which will be very very easier if you do the class-based. So maybe you're going to a project which is like 2-year-old. See, the corporate project works for 10, 10, 15 years. So it is not like that. Nobody changes those things. So maybe you will require those class-based. And class-based is very much required if you want to learn functional, because there are some of the concepts which are there which you will need to know. Okay, which you need to know in your functional, like use effect hook and all those things, uses life cycle method in a way, so that you have to know. So now we're going to start. And for class based is a bit longer topic. So see what will happen. For 3 days we are going to do the class based component, and for 2 days, we are going to do the hook based component. And React is that much only. I'm going to teach everything. It will take only 5 days, but after that also there is something which is remaining. React requires a lot of external libraries, like React router it will require. So that you have to learn from my channel. There are a lot of videos for the React router. If you want, I can give it. And Redux is also required. Redux, people say that context API can do everything, but not in all projects. In big production projects, you need Redux now also. So Redux also, I take Redux classes also, but I don't not taken it for a long time. There is a playlist on my channel for Redux also. I have taken some time, so you can take that Redux, because next week we are going to take. I'm going to take React Native. Okay, React Native I'm going to take. So okay, so that is done. Now what we are going to do, okay, so we are going to first learn what is the package of JSON. I've talked too much. Now where does this React project start? So React project start, if you go to this, okay, React project start from this public.html. See, there is index.html. As I was telling, that everything is like is the browser understands only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript file. So this is the index.html file. So there is too much comment here. I can remove this comment. Anyways, their comment. It doesn't matter if I remove that. So I'll remove these comments. I will remove these comments. I will save it, and now see what will happen. So this is like the bare bone thing. So the thing is that the head part is like the normal HTML. You can put some CSS, and it is actually not required. You can put some. I've seen generally when you use Bootstrap and all, you put in this head only. Okay, and then this is title. This title only is been shown here. A React app. This title. So I will change it to, maybe I will change it to learn React. I will change it to, I'll save it, and it will change to learn React. And React has got this hot reloading thing. You don't have to do some go live or some live server. It is a hot reloading. Local host. Actually, React, it came with React only. This, the moment I change some code, it will be reflected here. If some error is there, it will be shown. That error will be shown. Now the head part is there. Now the main part is this body part. In this body, I have a div of ID root. Div of ID root. This is very important. A bit of JavaScript kind of code is there. Kind of code is there. It's not a JavaScript kind of code. JavaScript code. A div of ID root is there. Actually, our whole of React project will come in. So if I go to this div of ID root, and the React project actually start from src, and index.js is there. It starts from here, index.js, and something is like this. It is like we are never going to code in this way, but this is something which we should know from where it is started. There's a root, and React DOM dot create element, and React has got some virtual DOM. That is again a theoretical concept. You can learn about that, because the code is like a virtual DOM. Maybe I'll tell a bit when I'll do the code. But the main thing here is this document.getElement by ID. If you know a bit of JavaScript, you know that document.getElement by ID gets some elements by ID, and it is this root you're seeing. It is actually getting this ID, document.getElement by ID, and this is some React kind of a language. And what it does actually, it is telling that document get element by id this root, document.get element by id this root, and I'm storing it is in the root variable. Root dot render, I'm doing this app is the main thing which you are seeing here. Okay, and React dot strict mode and all is there. Maybe we need to remove it later on. It is strict mode is not like an Angular strict mode. It is like a different strict mode. It is there nowadays. They put it, and so this it is what it is telling, that root dot render app, root dot render the app. So what is this app? App is the main thing which you are actually seeing here. It is basically telling, take the id root and render this app. So our whole of React app will be rendered in that id root. I'll also open the console and show you. So see this function app.js, and what is happening in the app.js, I have some weird kind of a code. It's a JavaScript file, but it has got some HTML code. Actually, this is a React thing. In React, what happens? JavaScript and HTML code are combined to form a different kind of code, which is known as JSX, JavaScript XML. It's a different kind of language, but don't worry about it. It's not that much different. Also, this is known as JSX, not that much different. Like what is there? There is a div of see, a bit of difference is that I will tell it when it happens. Okay, one difference. Let me tell that it is like a pure like a HTML code, and it's very easy to write this. And if you compare it with the vanilla JavaScript code, you will find vanilla JavaScript code too much tough. That DOM programming, you need to create element, document dot create element, then append child, and all those things are there. No, here you write pure HTML code. Only a bit of thing that you can show the variables and all like this. And this class name is there. Class name is a representation of class, which we have in some 2-3 changes are there. One of them is this class name, because we cannot take the class keyword in React because it's a JavaScript file and class is a keyword. So if you see this file closely, you'll see this logo. Actually, this logo is in this image tag is showing this logo. Edit is coming from here. Anchor tag learn React is coming from here. So actually this file only has been shown. And if I inspect it, I will show one thing. If I go to this div of id root, see I go to this div of id root, this div of id root. Inside this div of id root, only this app.js, all the files from app.js comes. What does that mean? That means this inside the we will show all our React app in this div of id root only. Okay, so this div of class app is there, and this header, see all this header and all these things will show. And in React, mostly we do the CSS like a normal CSS. Those who are coming from the Angular world, they know that in Angular we have all those things that is different, like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Here the main difference is that JavaScript and HTML they are combining. CSS is like a normal CSS. This is like app and app.logo and all this. Okay, so enough of this theoretical stuff, but it is very important stuff. Nobody teaches this thing that much. And now we are going to go and start with our components and all. So we are already seeing one component, and we are going to see means one sec. We are going to okay. So as I was telling, there are two kinds of component: functional component and class-based component. So let us see the functional component first. One second. Okay, so one second. Let me open it in my mobile also, because sometimes I miss what you people say. So I need to keep on watching this on my mobile also, because I'm okay. So that is there. And see what is happening. This is a functional component. If you can see, it's a like a normal function. Normal JavaScript function is there, but I like to do it with arrow function. You can take arrow function also, and arrow function are the greatest and the latest. And so we are going to do it with the arrow function. Okay, so let us create a first functional component with the arrow function. And React, what happens in the app.js, you're going to change this app.js. Just if you're coming from some other background, you know that in Angular and everything else, you have something like this boilerplate code in the main file, and then you delete from there, and also those things are there here also. So div with class name of app and all is there. So first thing is that I'm going to create a new component. I'm going to remove all these things. Generally in React, what happens, in the src, you will create a components folder. You do any structure like this is something which people generally does, and that sometimes it depends upon a company how they want it and all. So components I'll do, and I'll do a read.js I'll do. And then here I'll do a so in we're going to create a functional component first, but I'm going to show another thing also, which is like how to do this import and exports. Okay, how to do that, we are going to see that also. So here I am there, and first thing I'm going to do, import React from React. Okay, so I'll do like this. And I teach a person who knows Angular very well to know React, and he was asking me, why don't we have that NGGC? in Angular we can directly create a component with like GC command and all. Okay, so here we cannot do that thing, but we have a shortcut. I'm going to show that shortcut also, and for that we use again what is it called as, again a program is there, so again extension is there. I'm going to use extension. I'm going to show that. Okay, right now I'm going to write everything. Const greet and equal to like this, and this I'll do, and I will, okay, I'll do export here itself, export greet like this, and return, and in this return I'll have this h1 hello world. I'm gonna have save it. Now this export hello world is there. Now this is a function. This is how you create a, see, this is a arrow function is there, normal arrow function, but I'm using export. See, React components all are in isolation, so you have to export them and import React from React. You might have guessed because it is the React thing, so you have to import React from React and export. You have to export them. You have to export them so that you can use it here. So I'm going to use it here, but I'm going to remove all this things which is already coming here, and I am going to, maybe it will show now, grwt grwt, and it's showing, it will show like this. If it shows something like this, you have to press the enter, so it will do the auto completion for you like this. And React component generally you self end. There is another way where I'm going to show that it is like a HTML thing only, but you self ends them. So like HTML you write, it is written like this. Logo SVG we're not using anymore, so I will delete it. Okay, so see one thing. See this greet, I'm using it in, and I'm using it in a different way. Like this curly bracket is there. Actually, this is known as named import in React. And what is this is known as? This is known as named export in React. Named export and named import, named export and named import. Okay, so I will save it, named export and named import, and the hello world will be shown, and the hello world will be shown like this. Okay, so that is there, hello world will be shown. And what else? So instead of this grid, and in React we work like this only, and app.js will have a lot of components. In the real production projects also we'll have a lot of components, and it will be the starting point. So this grid has been shown, and grid is showing this hello world. But there is one more thing which I'm going to tell it, and this is a functional component. As I was saying, there are two kind of exports or imports, whatever is there, imports for this, export for this, and this kind of component we won't use much. These are known as named export. What is the benefit of it? I can do multiple exports here, even 100, 200, it doesn't matter, and one also I can do. But there is another thing known as default export, which we use the most. 99% of time we use the most. This kind of things we use in utility classes or something like that. Okay, that we are going to do soon. Okay, so here one thing more I can have, like I will do a export const maybe I'll change this thing, it doesn't matter. React greet, I'll do hello React, I'll do save it. Now what will happen, I will use this React greet here. So React greet not coming. Okay, so if it will it come like this. Okay, so React greet, okay, it is coming like, so React greet, I have to do a comma and I can use it like this. So even if there are hundreds of components, I have to give a comma in this curly bracket and I can use it. So the React greet will come after this, React greet will come after this, it will come. Okay, so that is there. And that is React great. And if you're new here, please do like and subscribe because it helps the channel grow. We are doing 3 streamings per day, and we are planning to continue to do that. 3 streamings per day is a lot of work. Nobody on YouTube does those things. Okay, only the big channels does those things. We're not that much big channel, and we are completely bootstrapped. We are not some startup with a lot of money and lot of money to burn. So please help us to rise. Okay, so that we can give more to the community. Okay, so that is there. And greet, so it is like this. Okay, and then the other thing is that, as I told, we are going to see this how to do the default thing. So I'm going to create another file known as that will be like greeting.js, and here I'm going to use that default export. But as I told, this time I'm not going to create this whole thing by hand. For that we have an extension here. So I'm going to extension, other tool extensions are like a small program created by open source enthusiast. And here this thing, this ES7 React Redux React Native by DS Django and this thing. So you have to install this thing, just install this thing and you'll get it. So I'll install, I've already installed this thing. You have to install it, and hardly it will, maybe it will ask you to reload the browser and all. So that is there. And now there's some shortcuts, and I generally remember 2 3 shortcuts only because I love arrow based functional component. I remember that one only. RAFCE, you have to write RAFCE, and then you have to press a tab and to create the whole skeleton code, like in like the index.html. Also we get the skeleton code like this you get. Okay, so this return div and all these things are there, so that is good. And greetings and all. And see the difference between this and this is that I have a multiple exports here, but I have a export default here like this. So only that difference is that I don't have export here, I have a export default. Now I'll do this as h1 greetings, greeting from React. Okay, maybe like this. I'll do now how to show it. Again, I will come here and do a greeting like this, hello, and I will show it. And this is greeting from React will come. So this is like this, it will come. So now it's time to learn about the class-based component. As I told, the first 3 days we're going to learn many of the class-based component. So what are these class-based component? And they were the main when React started. They were the main thing. Now they are moving away. Now the functional components are coming, but still it is there in React, and React is never going to get rid of them because then the old code will fail. Okay, so that is the. So now we'll make a class-based component, and here I will go to the component and I'll do a welcome dot JS. I'll do, and there is again a shortcut for this. I'll do RCC. Okay, okay. I forgot to tell one thing. Okay, this default imports are like this. You don't use the curly bracket here. Okay, default imports, and that's why we can use it once only. So export default RCC is the shortcut. It will give me this thing, but there is one thing which you can do, but I don't like it, and most people don't like it. This export default you can do at the top also, but nobody likes it. This and this skeleton code is giving me like this. So I'll do this export default and welcome. I'll do the end. So this will be like this, and now I need to show it. Maybe I'll do it. Do H1 and welcome to React. I'm going to React also like this, and like this it will be there. And now I need to show this welcome. So I'll come here and show this welcome like this, and I'm going to go back to there and I'm going to tell what it is. So again it will show like this welcome to React. But what it is this? This is a simple ES6 classes which was introduced in JavaScript in 2015, and this has been implemented in both React and Angular. They use this heavily, this class based thing. So normal class, only the thing is that it is extending from component. What is this component? This is something which is coming from the React. So it is extending from this one. What is this extend? This is known as inheritance also. So this is this inheritance stuff. Okay, so let me drink a bit of water. Okay, so that is there. And okay. So this extends is like inheritance. Don't need to go that much from inside it. It is the inheritance thing which is inheriting from React, so that we have some additional functionality in this class-based component, like those props and like the state and lifecycle method. So that's the reason it is extending. Then there is a bit difference from a functional component. We have something known as a render here. We have something known as a render here. So this render is there, so which is not there here. So again it has got some additional features. This render, it actually refreshes the component. Okay, so that is there. So that is there. And the now nothing else is there to share, because we are going to see further this class-based component we're going to use a lot and all. And this is also we're doing the default export here. And now the next thing which we are going to do, okay, the one thing which I actually have already told that JSX, this class HTML class become class name. Similar to there is some HTML, there is a for in a label. When I'm going to show the label, we are going to see that thing for instead of for the HTML for comes in. There is a for element in the label we use for input. We are going to use a form soon, then I'm going to tell it more. And because for is again a keyword in a class, there can be a for loop also. So those are some other difference. Then there is a on click handler. You see the camel casing is being used. So when we are going to use it, I'm going to tell it. Now we are going to look into the third more important. There are actually three important concepts in React. Only three important concepts. One is the props, one is the state, one is the life cycle method. React is a very small thing. It is not like Angular, like heavy stuff and all those things. Okay, and three other things are there, which comes in React to the external library, which we are not going to discuss here. One is the routing part comes from React Router. One is the Redux. So these are the only things. Someone was asking me today in LinkedIn that what you need to learn in React. Yeah, you need to learn all these things. Only these two things extra after React. This React Router and this Redux you need to learn. Okay, so those are the two things which are there, and you have to create a lot of projects. That's the only way to get a job in React. Okay, so that is done, and so we are going to learn about props. So what are props actually? Props is the way to pass data from a parent component to a child component. We can do the opposite also, and that is also something which we will learn, but we'll learn in a different. So what is the parent component, what is the child component? Here the parent component is this app. This app is the parent component, and it is calling some of the components, so those become its child component. Those are the child component, those are the child component here. So that is there. And uh, okay, so a lot of time what happens, you need to pass some data from the parent to the child, or maybe voids, and that is what happens in programming a lot. You need to pass data like from here to there, here to there, and all those things. And that we use props, we use something known as context API also, and Redux is also mainly used for that purpose only. So let us see how to move data from here to first thing which you're going to see. We're not going to see this grid.js because this is what this not something which you use like that. And the other thing is that if we are not going to show something, we can comment that thing. So React commenting is a different, but the way to give comment is the same because in the browser you have to come there and do a select anything which you want to comment and do a control backslash. Here I will do a command backslash. I'll do because I have Mac. So control backslash you'll do, and it will comment it out. And this will go show this gray also. So I'll comment this also, but this will be like a normal thing. And this is how React comment is there done inside the return. I'll save it so it will not be shown. So there is like this, and actually I'm not going to use the welcome also right now. Welcome I'm going to use it a bit later on, and so I'll comment this out. We only have greeting. Okay, so other thing is that I will call the greeting three times because I'm going to we're going to see from React it is coming. Instead of from React I want to show something else, so I want to pass that data as a prop. So let us do that, and I will pass some data here. See, maybe I need to show welcome from welcome from JavaScript, from Golang, from something like that I want to show. So let us do that. Welcome from means not welcome from, we're passing Java script. We're passing JavaScript, and name equal to Golang, name equal to maybe Flutter. Save it. So we're passing something here. Okay, and see, this name is not a keyword. You can use anything else also for this, because there's a language names I've taken as this name, and then this JavaScript, Golang, and Flutter. Obviously you're going to use those things. So we'll come here to the greeting because we are not seeing anything. I'll also open the console, and in the greeting I'll go, and here I want to see how it comes. Actually, when I pass something like this, it comes as something known as props in React. So yeah, props is a keyword. So props comes like this here. Props will come in the bracket. Okay, props will come here, and it will come as a parameter, and then I have to do the console.log of props. I will do console.log of props, and I want to see what is there in the props. But the thing is that you have to, it will come here. Okay, it will means it will come in the parameter. Now I'll save it. Okay, it is showing 2-3 times. Okay, so this is not a bug in React and all. Why it is showing 2-3 times? See, whenever React actually releases some new version, see, there is a little trick which we need to do. It is showing it too many times. You should not show it too many times. this strict thing, it always messes up thing. I've seen this thing, then they slowly fix it. This React strict mode, you don't need it. Actually, I'll remove it. Then what will happen? I will see it only 3 times. A small fix I found it on the internet only. So this thing. So now this is the original. So the props will come like this, and as you can see, the props is what like this. It's an object. I'm passing here name equal to JavaScript, but it is coming as an object, with a name and the value as JavaScript, key as name and value as JavaScript, key as name and value as Golang. So that is like this. Props dot log is console log props is coming like this. So if it is coming like this, and I want to show this JavaScript instead of this React hard-coded React, how do I show this? So greetings. Okay, so I'll remove this thing first. And see, this greetings from was actually a string, but if I want to show some variable, I have to show a like this. I have to show it inside a curly bracket, and the variable like this, props, because props is an object. So props dot name, if I do so, I will get the value like JavaScript Golang. It's a real it's a easy object thing. I'll save it. Greetings from JavaScript, greetings from Golang, and greetings from Flutter. So this is one of the things. And actually this is how you pass data along. But sir, what is the purpose of React, sir? Okay, so what is the purpose of React? Purpose of React is to get your job. The only purpose of React is to get your job. Okay, so understand that thing. The If you're coming from some other background, so nowadays you can get job only with React. See, everything has moved away from. Okay, so it will take some time, but I will tell. It's a very good question. That's why I should tell what is the purpose of React. And then again, I have to go back to my story mode and go back 12 years back. So what used to happen 12 year back, what used to happen? Everything used to be, maybe you're not even means you're very young. I don't know how what is the age. And that time everything used to be a desktop app. So everything used to be a desktop app made in the greatest language of that time, which is known as Java. So when I was means I'm old. So in that time we used to get those exe and click on those things, and all those things we had to do. Then Facebook changed everything. Facebook, those who think Facebook is a website, Facebook is not a website. Facebook is a web app. Facebook is the one of the greatest web app of all time, because it has got 3 billion people on Facebook. 3 billion is like a hell lot of a number. Why 3 billion is a hell lot of a number? Because there are only 6 billion people on this planet. 3 billion people means half of the planet, half of us are there on Facebook. So you think of Facebook is like a easy thing? No, it is not an easy thing. It gets around 100 crore connections per second, which is like crazy thing to do. So those things are done with something known as web app. See what happens to Facebook, slowly everything started moving towards website or web app. Everything started moving towards web app. So in web app you cannot just do HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML, CSS, JavaScript is not made for those things. React is like very powerful. React is like that. It is like very fast. It uses something known as virtual DOM. So because of that, Facebook, you never face a lag. You can face a lag in something else, but you cannot face a lag in Facebook on all. So there are some other thing are also there, that slowly that from Facebook everything started moving toward web app. So everything become web app, LinkedIn, Facebook, and everything is a web app now. So all those things need something like React. So they are made in either three things: the front end, React, Vue.js, or Angular. Out of that, React and Angular are the most popular, and React is way ahead because it is almost everything which you see today, except the Google thing, because Google, everything in Google is made with Angular. It is made in React, from Facebook to LinkedIn to everything else which we can see or perceive, because everything, they are very heavy web app. Vanilla JavaScript, if you know vanilla JavaScript, you cannot do those things. And so that is there. Anything you do, anything which have a functionality, any moving thing is made in React. Anything which have a functionality, it is made in React. So even if you have little bit of knowledge of React also in your resume, you do your own research on that, you will get a job. And what I'm telling, you don't have to look outside. I will give you a job. I will give you a job if you know React. I will give you a job. You don't have to look even outside. I will give you a job. So that much demand of React is that I even don't get React.js developer. React.js developer like earn like in, they are been like you have heard that thing, that gold taraju is there and something like that, and king sits at one side and the gold is put on other side. React people are paid in that. React people are actually literally paid in gold. Sometime back there's a Bharat Pay thing, and they paid super bike to 1 year old React developer. Super bike, 10 lakh package and 5 lakh super bike. So that is the demand of React, because React of demand is so much. As I'm telling you, I will give you a job because I don't get a React developer. I cannot pay someone 10 lakh rupees. I cannot pay that amount because I have a very small startup. I cannot pay someone that, like. So React.js is means everywhere. Anything, any web app which you open from, like, I will open a if web app means like Paytm and all those things. If I open, like, they are not like a normal website and all. Paytm and all those things, they are made in React. I'm not telling about the app. Even the apps are made in React Native. There is a language known as React Native. It is made in that. So I hope I am clear. And rest of the things you can do. And more thing, if you want to know, you can come to my Wednesday 10 p.m. class. Wednesday 10 p.m. I solve the doubts. Mostly I solve career doubts, but this kind of questions are also way too good, and come with this kind of questions and I will solve them. And we are getting late, so I will continue in this, or else I will not even able to complete the process because there is a lot of things which we need to complete here. Okay, hope it answers your question, Arvind. Okay, so without React you cannot get a web app developer job, which is our main motto, to get your web app developer job. HTML, CSS, JavaScript is not enough to get a job today. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, yeah, React and React.js are same because they are all, but React JS and React are same. React Native is different. React Native is used for mobile development. I do that also, so that's the reason I have this ugly looking Mac, because for that you need some good power for React Native, and it is used for mobile development. So apps which you see, and I have a lot of. I teach React Native also. I teach Angular also. React Native is also there on my channel. If you want, you can find it out. Okay, so enough of this talk. Okay, so because we need to finish something, or else in 5 days how I will finish it. Okay, so that is there, and then what? Okay, so that is there. I hope I have motivated you enough to learn React. So please do learn React. You want to get a job, or you want to get an internship, whatever. So greetings, name JavaScript and whatever is there. So this is there, and there is another way to pass the data, which is like this. React is like this thing is like a HTML. So I can also do like this, close it like this also, and it will not give me error, because like HTML, I can close it like this. It will not give me error, but I have done it for a reason. I will pass something here. I will pass a language for cross mobile app. Language for cross mobile app. Flutter is like React Native. I'm not going to tell much about it. Okay, so that is there. And if I refresh it, so it will see, you'll see this thing is coming like Flutter, and this is the third one, because of this our props. The third one is showing something as children. I never passed anything as children here. But the thing is that if you pass something in between this thing, this greeting, in between this greeting, if you pass something, it will come as children. That's why I did it. And it is like a value like children. Now I want to show this children also. Now I want to show this children also. How I show this children? I show this children like I will do a P, and I will do a, again I will do this thing, and I'll do a, oh what I done. Props dot children. I'll do this props dot chil. Props dot children. I'll do. Okay. I'll do this props dot children, but actually it will give me an error. Not because of I've written props or children, because of something else. In React, what happens? It is the error is self-explanatory. JSON JSON element must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. Did you want a JSON fragment? Actually, what happens in React inside this return statement? If something is starting with h1, it should end with h1. But I cannot do it like this. My whole program will break. Means the styling will break, not program. The styling will break. So earlier, what we used to do, we used to wrap it with div earlier, but this causes okay. If I do this, see, I'm already getting this red thing. This VS Code is very good. It gives me the moment I move it inside it, and this will go away. So earlier we used to do it this like this, but div causes a lot of problem. What the problem it got? It causes a lot of problem in the styling actually. If I click it here, it will add something additional, like this div will add something additional classes. I don't want this. So React team came out with something known as this is known as a fragment. This means nothing. Takes no space, but this is something, as the error was there, I need to start something with something and with the same thing. So I'll do this only div. So now what will happen? See, I'm not, it is showing as if I have nothing, and this is that. And the props.children is also shown. Props.children is now also shown. Props.children is also shown. And it is like this language for cross mobile app is there, and that is been shown. And this is how it works. Okay, so that is done. Now how to add use these props in our welcome.js, we are going to see that. So for this, again, in the averages, I'll come and I will do this and all, welcome. And maybe, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll give the mark your, because we have reached the end of our main topic, and we're going to end here only. Means okay. So after we're done here, so we're going to see how to use the props in this welcome. So I'll do this 3 times again, and I will have a horizontal rule here, like it is like this. And if I do this, okay, welcome is not different because I have actually commented out the code, so it is like this. Welcome to React, and now we're going to show send something here. So maybe the name is like the other name. React is the other name. Name is like maybe write some old language Pascal, and name is like Java. I'll do. And in the third one, I will even have a like this, because I know there is a children thing is already there. And here it is not like every time I have to pass some string and all. I can actually pass something like this. Means button also. Click here. Maybe side like this. I'll do. See, now it will go here, but I have to show it. So all these three things I have to show. So I'll come to this welcome, and like this. Now you'll see one thing. Here I was using these props in this function parameter. There's nothing like this in the class-based component. So where do I use it? So here we have to use it inside your directly, like this props we're using. So there, here is the this keyword comes, and class-based component we have this keyword. In the ES6 in the previous week I have shown what is this keyword. So I'll do this welcome and do this dot props dot name, because I know this name is there, and I know that there will be error if I have two things in the same. So I'll already have this fragment, and then I'll have this p, and in this p I'll have this dot props dot children. This dot props dot children I'll do, and I'll save it. Now it will come React, Pascal, and Java, and click here. Okay, so that is like that, and it is coming like this. Okay, so yeah. So we the next topic we have to cover in the next class, which is the topic of state. I thought would have covered it today, but we are not able to cover. We are only done the props, and so we'll cover the next topic tomorrow. And also, as I've told, the class based React will take another 2 days. I'm going to cover quickly next 2 days. So I have answered some React questions today, so it took a bit of time. So that is there, and I will take the questions on Wednesday. Okay, don't worry. Where questions come to my Wednesday at 10 p.m. I have a live session in which I solve all career related doubt, or maybe some this kind of technical doubts also. I can not do something coding. This kind of technical doubt I will solve. Okay, so that is there, and with this I'll end today's stream because I have a class now. I have my paid class now, which I will take my bootcamp class, and I'll stop.